And it is a beautiful evening here on the Côte d'Azur. From where we sit here, we can actually see the hills of Nice. Lots and lots of little pastel-coloured rectangular houses dotted in amongst the trees. It's a beautiful sky as well. Lovely temperature. And tonight, England need to find their goal-scoring touch here on the Riviera against the underdogs, Iceland, who've reached the knockout stages of their very first major tournament. Some achievement, man. But Chris Waddle on our programme just now said if England can't beat Iceland, there's something wrong. So, Danny Mills, are they going to find the Riviera touch tonight?
I'd be very, very surprised and disappointed if they don't win this game 2-0, 3-1, whatever it may be. You know, Iceland have done incredibly well. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. They have a very limited pool of players to pick from. They've done incredibly well to get to this stage. But if England do not win this game, it will be a massive embarrassment of footballing proportions.
Well, we've spoken a great deal this year about Euro 96, 20 years ago. England have won precisely 2 of 8 knockout ties at World Cups and European Championships since Euro 96. Danny was involved in one of them, the 3-0 against Denmark that we've mentioned. The teams tonight: Joe Hart, Walcott, Cahill, Smalling and Rose, Dyer, Ali and Rooney, Sturridge, Kane and Sterling. The captain, Rooney, winning his 115th cap tonight, which brings him level with David Beckham. Only Peter Shilton has played more times for England than Wayne Rooney, who is listening to the countdown. He's jumping up, and Dele Alli begins the game, playing it back to Wayne Rooney. England playing from left to right in the white shirts, white shorts and red socks. These shirts with the light blue sleeves. And Iceland, just like Spain earlier, playing the same team for the 4th consecutive match at the tournament. And the ball is out of play for a throw into England on the halfway line. And that Iceland team, Hal Dawson is the goalkeeper, a back four of Sævarsson, Ragnar Sigurdsson, Arnason and Skulason. Then in midfield, Gudmundsson, Gunnarsson, Gylfi Sigurdsson and Bjarnason. And here's Walker down the right-hand side, crossing for England, but it's cleared away by the captain, Aron Gunnarsson, inside the penalty area. And then the 2 up front for Iceland, Sigthorsson and Böðvarsson. And it is Iceland in the blue shirts, mainly blue, although there is a red and white stripe down the left-hand side of the front of the shirts, a little like the flag of Iceland itself. And white numbers, blue shorts and blue socks. And England with the ball at the back. Here is Kyle Walker back in the team. 6 changes for England tonight. It was the team that was widely reported in the media overnight and this morning that Roy Hodgson has gone with. So here is a touch from Raheem Sterling. And now Eric Dyer on the halfway line. Dyer swinging the ball back out to the right-hand side. Sturridge is there, almost with his heels on the white line. Then a flick from Ali. Sturridge 25 yards out, shooting left-footed, but the ball bounces wide by 3 or 4 yards of Hal Dawson's left post. Danny Mills.
Encouraging start from England. Clearly they want to get the players wide, and if Sterling comes out wide, Sturridge comes out wide and starts on the touchline, has that touch, and then goes and plays inside and follows his ball, then that can work.
This is BBC 5 Live, bringing you the last match in the round of 16 at Euro 2016. So this will complete the lineup. We know that Italy are through, having knocked out the holders Spain. Here's Ali turning away in the centre circle and running forward, and Ali manages to work it to Sterling, turns onto his left foot, still going Sterling, but forced wide by Sævarsson. Still Sterling though, shoots, it's deflected and blocked by Sævarsson, and Iceland are able to clear it away to relative safety.
There's a chance, John. I think, again, had he been in sparkling form and great confidence, he would have taken that shot on just a little bit of a fraction earlier and probably would have tested the goalkeeper.
So it's England 0, Iceland 0, and already it is a pacey start from England, and Gary Cahill's carried the ball a long way that runs down a blind alley in the end. However, Iceland just clear it back. Sturridge playing it through the middle of Sterling. Sterling could be in here. He's forced wide. Oh, the goalkeeper comes in, catches Sterling, and he's given a penalty. Sterling fouled by the goalkeeper, Hal Dawson. It was a clumsy challenge by the goalkeeper, and England have an early chance to get the goal, to go in front in this match, and it's Wayne Rooney who's grabbed the ball.
Really poor decision from the goalkeeper, one he didn't need to make. Raheem Sterling did very, very well. Let the ball run across him, was in on goal. Goalkeeper didn't need to come out. But what was Chapper saying earlier? He's only conceded 10 of 24.
That's right. He has a great record as a penalty saver. He saved 9 of his last 24 penalties in club football. But this is a golden chance for England to get the early goal that they wanted. And it's the captain, Wayne Rooney, who's taken the responsibility with his right foot in the 4th minute. Rooney, here he comes now. Strikes it low and in. The goalkeeper dived the right way down to his right. But Rooney's penalty was right in the bottom corner. And England have the early goal. 1-0 against Iceland.
Fabulous penalty from Wayne Rooney. Brilliantly struck, calm under pressure, no hesitation whatsoever, knew exactly what he was going to do, drove it low into the bottom corner. Really good penalty, and that should ease all the nerves from England. I said earlier on, if they get an early goal, that should see them through. They should dominate possession now. Iceland will have to come out a little bit more, and that should allow more gaps for England. But you have to say, well done Raheem Sterling. First touch wasn't brilliant, but he went in again for the second time, let the ball run across him. It was a really poor decision from the goalkeeper. It didn't need to come, misjudged it. Once the penalty was given, Wayne Rooney, fabulous, no mistake.
And also, Danny, I think a word of praise for Sturridge's ball through, looking for Sterling, that set up the chance for him. But a clumsy challenge from the goalkeeper, really. However, it's a penalty and England are in front, and Wayne Rooney has just scored his 53rd goal for England, extending his record. Long throw from Gunnarsson. It's headed on. Chance to equalise, and it's in! Ragnar Sigurdsson has almost instantly equalised for Iceland. It was the long throw from Gunnarsson that caused the problems. There was a flick on, it fell to the central defender Sigurdsson in the 6-yard box, and he made no mistake, and England are pegged right back. It's 1-1 now.
That's absolutely ridiculous. What did Rio Ferdinand say earlier on? You've got to have people bullying, dragging people into position. Kyle Walker goes to sleep, loses his man completely. Okay, not an awful lot Wayne Rooney can do. He gets beaten to the ball by Arneson, the big centre-back, for the header. But Kyle Walker goes to sleep, loses his man, and it's a tap-in from 4 yards out. You are at your most vulnerable when you've just scored. And that is terrible defending.
England won, Iceland won, and England were in front for, well, if it was 60 seconds, I'd be surprised. Ian Dennis is behind the goal in which Iceland have just scored.
Well, Roy Hodgson was a move when Wayne Rooney put England ahead, but he's out now in his technical area. He's just clapped his hand as if to say, come on. But Danny's right, the amount of space that the Icelandic player had was frightening. I was just going to say before that, John, when Raheem Sterling won the penalty, it was interesting that he went to both Daniel Sturridge and Dele Alli for a touch of support. They both brushed his hand, but of course it's all been undone in a matter of seconds.
So it's 1-1, and I was listening to Heimir Hallgrímsson, one of the joint coaches of Iceland yesterday, who said, we've scored in almost every game from a set piece. In fact, we've scored in every game, and that's still the case. And here they are now on the right-hand side with Gudmundsson of Charlton. Ball to the edge of the area. Bjarnason couldn't take it on, so England now bringing it away with their goal scorer tonight, Wayne Rooney. Rooney playing it back to the left-hand side to Rose, who was a little fortunate there that the ball breaks back to him and he's able to play it all the way back to Joe Hart. Danny Mills.
You just took the words out of my mouth, John. The coach, the manager, warned England, we are good from set pieces. This is where we score. These are where we create our opportunities. Were England not aware of this? The rest of the world were.
I think they even mentioned Gunnarsson's long throws yesterday. and they've been completely caught out by that throw from the captain, Aaron Gunnarsson of Cardiff City, and so 1-1 is the score. Here is Rooney on the left-hand side. A little touch from Dyer, and then Rose goes for a long pass, but that's way beyond Harry Kane, and it bounces through to the goalkeeper, Hal Dawson. Magnificent turnout from Iceland. Again, their supporters, around about 5,000 of them, and they've been in the ground way before the England fans, who are here in good number, incidentally. I'd say there are probably twice as many England supporters inside the stadium, if not more, than Iceland fans, but they are now clapping in unison. The men and women and boys and girls from that island in the North Atlantic, and they'll have enjoyed that moment when the central defender Ragnar Sigurdsson scored the equaliser. England with the ball at the back, slightly stung, it would appear, from conceding the goal. Cahill now to Sturridge. Sturridge moving in field. Sturridge playing a low ball to Sterling. Sterling centrally here, turns, where he has his ankles taken away from him by Gunnarsson, and it's a free kick forward and left of the centre circle. 9 minutes played, and it's already 1-1. So Sterling just climbs to his feet there. I think he's okay. He was just caught on the top of his right foot. Rooney's going to take the free kick. England sending Dyer up to the edge of the penalty area. Cahill is already there. Smalling hesitated, but then with Iceland dropping everyone back, Smalling comes up as well. So Rooney with the delivery from the free kick, whips it in. It's headed firmly away. Only back to Walker for England, and Walker plays it to Rooney. Rooney on the halfway line, going for another long pass. Here it is to the edge of the area. Dyer heads it down. It bounced up awkwardly for Sturridge, and that meant that Gylfi Sigurdsson could take it away from him and whack it away downfield. Back to Ian Dennis again.
The bench aren't happy, John. Both Roy Hodgson and Gary Neville at that free kick were desperate for Kyle Walker to get out onto this near side, this right-hand side, to create that width.
Thanks, Ian. England 1, Iceland 1. BBC 5 Live. And the ball just out of play for a throw into England. 10 yards inside, 15 yards inside the Iceland half. As England play from left to right, towards the end of the stadium, which is housing the Icelandic masses. Sturridge back to Cahill, and now across to Smalling. Rooney's dropped very deep here, and Rooney receives it from the England central defender, his Manchester United teammate Smalling. Rooney taking it on and then spinning a pass out here to the right hand side to Walker. Walker up against Bjarnason. Sturridge comes for it. England keeping possession, but Iceland are very used to this. They had only 29% possession on average in the 3 group matches, in which, let me stress again, they were unbeaten and went through just like England as group runners-up. Here is Dyer in the centre circle.
Well, possession, John, is no longer important, is it? Look at what Leicester did. I think they were average about 40% possession throughout the whole of the Premier League season.
Walker moving in field though into a congested area. It's just touched away by Sigþórsson, the tall blonde striker. But Iceland defending as a team as Sturridge plays it through into the penalty area. This time a sliding interception from Iceland's goal scorer Sigurdsson. But it comes back for England. Rooney with the first time pass here to Sturridge on the right hand side. 1-1 the score if you've just joined us on 5 Live. Here is Harry Kane. Kane plays it off Gylfi Sigurdsson, and it bounces behind for a corner. Just been told 34 seconds between the goals. That was it. Rooney's penalty in the 5th minute, Sigurdsson's equaliser in the 6th. 34 seconds. But a corner, a first corner of the game to England, and with Harry Kane on the field, it is going to be Rooney who is taking the corner.
Well, England have now got to try and do to Iceland what they did the other way around. Opportunity now to put the ball in the box. Dyer, Smalling, Cahill, Kane, strong, tall players, all good in the air.
Rooney waiting. Here's the Rooney corner into the edge of the 6-yard box. Smalling went for it, but missed it completely. He was unmarked in there as well. Ball played back towards Danny Rose, who's the only man back for England on the halfway line, and he's closed down by Bird Varson. Ball forward from Rose is headed out of play for a throw into England on the far side.
Another question I'd like to ask. Well, Roy Hodgson, if had the opportunity, the goals are Sigurdsson is 6'3" at least. Why is Kyle Walker marking him?
We'll get a word from Chris Waddle as well, who's watching from Paris, from our studio in Paris near the Eiffel Tower. But England with it on the halfway line. Rooney then going back to Cahill. 13 minutes played and it's 1-1. England scoring the early goal that they so wanted, having not scored in the first half yet at Euro 2016, but then switching off for the long throw from Gunnarsson and equalising through Sigurdsson in the 6-yard box. Here's Walker down the right, does well to reach that. Not sure he'll be able to keep it in. He did keep it in and gives it back to Sturridge. Sturridge turns, bamboozles Gylfi Sigurdsson, and now Rooney on the right hand side. Rooney, energetic performance from Rooney already. He's seen so much of the ball. This time on the right wing, gives it to Walker. Walker, it's all very congested. There are 3 Icelandic players there, but Walker's managed to thread the ball infield towards Kane. I think he was fouled there, but referee Skamina's allowed play to continue, and Harry Kane played it onto the left back Skulason. I thought it might have hit Kane and gone out, but no, it didn't. It is corner to England from the right hand side.
The first corner from England was decent, good delivery. Cahill didn't quite anticipate that Smalling might miss it. But again, this is an opportunity. England have got to make the most of these situations, just like Iceland will.
And all action starts of the game. And a corner now to England from the right. Rooney to take it. Here it is. And he was aiming for Cahill, but it was headed up in the air. The ball's still in the box. Cahill challenges for it. Weak punch by the goalkeeper. Gylfi Sigurdsson clears it away on the edge of the box. Comes to Ali. Ali shoots. And the ball really inches over the crossbar and over the top for a goal kick.
Ali was unlucky. Got closed down very, very quickly. Maybe just needed it to drop another couple of inches and that would have hit the target.
Chance to bring in Chris Waddle for a first word since the start of the match. Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. The pen, great start, that's what you wanted. Then you just think it's possession and drag them out. And the worst thing in the world is, and I said coming here to the team park there tonight, the fan park, they'll score from a long throw. I was talking to Rio Ferdinand, and what do they do? Throw it in, and it's not about who's marking who. Why does he get the free head on the first one? Who's in front? And then the second one.
Chris, here's Sturridge inside the penalty area. Lovely ball to him from Ali. Sturridge dropping his shoulder one way then the other. But then he was dispossessed, easily dispossessed by the central defender Arnason. And Iceland have it back. We'll bring in Chris again, but England on the move with Walker down the right hand side. Sturridge, ball spinning up. Does well actually, very tightly watched. Passed forward by Walker. But Skulason has it back for Iceland. And now a touch from Bjarnason, but England back in possession inside their own half. Here's Rooney. Rooney just angles it back to Smalling. Quarter of an hour played. And it's 1-1 after Rooney's penalty gave England the lead. But Iceland equalising 34 seconds later. Rooney again. Harry Kane comes short. Dele Alli wanted the pass from Rooney, but it went short to Kane. Kane now to Sterling, edge of the area. Sterling, who's already won the penalty for England in this game, but he's dispossessed. Comes back to Kane. Kane having a look. Kane having a shot. And the ball dips over the top of the crossbar. Let's bring in Chris Waddle again.
Yeah, just going back to the goal, the long throw. Who was in front? How does he get a free header? And yet, and Kyle Walker's got to put his hand up. It doesn't matter who you're marking there, he's 6 foot or 4 foot. You've got to go with him and track him and make sure you win the ball. Terrible goal to go away after taking the lead. You said 34 seconds, John. It's criminal what happened there. In a minute, they're dominating the play, but again, not using the width well enough for me. Sturridge getting joy when he comes wide. Stay out there. Sterling's had good joy when he stays wide. Stay out there.
I think the goal has certainly rocked them. First 5 minutes, we're looking decent. We're hitting diagonal balls.
Here's Kane scooping a ball into the penalty area. Sterling might have just been pulled back there by the central defender Arnason. I don't think there was enough contact though, and the ball bounces through to the goalkeeper.
No, there wasn't. England started it in the right way. You know, got the ball, got the goal from a diagonal ball from out wide. You know, into Raheem Sterling, and now it's like they're a little bit shell-shocked. This is where they need the experience of Rooney and the more senior players to just get hold of the game, get back to doing what they were told to do.
Back to Ian Dennis behind the goal.
The bench are agitated, John. Both Gary Neville and Roy Hodgson have made a point to Raheem Sterling to get out wide on that left, and Gary Neville saying play the ball from in to out, diagonal balls out to that left-hand side.
Kane flicking the ball on the halfway line, but just giving possession back to Sigurdsson. And Sigurdsson swings it to the left here. Sig Thorsen is there. So is Birkir Bjarnason with his long blonde hair. The man who scored that goal against Portugal, the historic first goal for Iceland at a major tournament. Now it's with Gudmundsson of Charlton to the edge of the area. Gylfi Sigurdsson, a nice touch. Sigthorsson's in, shoots. Oh, Hart got a hand to it, couldn't give it out, and Iceland have taken the lead. Sigthorsson scores the goal. Hart got a big hand to that, but just took the pace off it, and it trickled over the line into the back of the England net, and we have a big shock scoreline here of England 1, Iceland 2.
I can't pull any punches, John. The defending was absolutely appalling. Raheem Sterling lost his man in the first place. The ball was played out wide. The ball was then played inside once, twice, 3 times. Little 1-2s on the edge of the box. No one got close. No one got a tackle in. The side foot shot is at Joe Hart. He has to save that. That's as bad as the mistake from the free kick from Gareth Bale.
It was scored at the end of the stadium where Ian Dennis is very close to the action.
Didn't seem to have as much power on as the Gareth Bale one. Joe Hart in front of me now, still shaking his head. He actually slammed his right hand into his own head in annoyance. As at the other end, Harry Kane's there for you, John, but Roy Hodgson on the bench, at the time being, have just sat down, a shake of the head from Roy Hodgson. You'd expect better from Joe Hart.
Hart was diving down to his left, as I said at the time, got a big hand on it, but just really took the pace off it.
Well, when we did the Facebook Live earlier, we talked about, does Joe Hart need to play well? I said no, he just doesn't need to make any mistakes, and unfortunately that has to go down as a mistake. But ultimately, again, just like the first goal, it never ever should have got to that situation. Raheem Sterling has to get close to his man in the first place. The ball then comes into central area around the edge of the D, and Iceland played 2 little 3-yard passes. No one gets a touch, no one gets close enough to anybody to affect the ball. We had 2 great centre-halves on earlier, Martin Keown and Rio Ferdinand. They would not have let that happen.
Well, if England weren't shell-shocked before, they certainly are now. 2-1 down to Iceland. Here's Ali Sturridge playing it back. England parked inside the Iceland half. Walker will go back towards the halfway line. I feel that there will have been a real tension about England before this match because of the fact they were such big favourites. Dyer's put under big pressure on the halfway line, but fortunately Smalling is able to help him out. Rooney, and then challenge from Sterling. It's a foul from Gunnarsson, and it's a free kick to England on the left. In fact, it might actually have been Siverson, the right back, who's just going to be spoken to by referee Skomina. But you know, all of the worries will have begun to seep away when England won that penalty, when Sterling was fouled. Rooney scored it, but now this is a real crisis for England. 21 minutes played, 2-1 down, and in danger of suffering one of their biggest ever embarrassments. Free kick on the left. It's going to be taken by Harry Kane, who swings it in, and it comes off the head of Sigthorsson, the goal scorer, over the top of his own crossbar and behind for a corner.
Fortunately, England still have plenty of time, to get back in this. We know Iceland are very, very resolute. They will defend well. It's going to be a real uphill struggle now for England.
Corner from the right. Rooney to take this. Huge Icelandic flag is being twirled behind the goal. Rooney. Here it is, the out-swinging right foot delivery. Cahill with a header down, but it's headed away on the edge of the box, and then Gylfi Sigurdsson, who was instrumental in the goal, incidentally, which, while it was poorly defended by England, it was beautifully worked by Iceland, the second goal. Here's Rose playing it forward. Cahill is still up there on the left-hand side, but miscontrols it. Gudmundsson.
Yeah, but John, you can't let players of any international quality have a free shot from 16 yards with no pressure.
And here is Gylfi Sigurdsson. He said yesterday it would be an absolute dream to play against England in a tournament. That dream's turning into a nightmare for England as the ball is cleared out of play for a throw to Iceland on the far side. With the score, England 1, Iceland 2. Here's Alan Green to half-time.
The scoreline says it all, doesn't it? Gunnarsson with another long throw to take. Remember, his first long throw led to Iceland's equaliser. He's on the far side of the field, the Icelandic right. There it goes, and this time it's better defended by England, by Harry Kane. Then the volley into the penalty area once more. Hart has made a hash of it! What a chance! Oh no, the referee's given a free kick. Well, I tell you what, the goal line assistant didn't react. Neither did the assistant on the far touchline. It was the referee's Kamina who awarded a free kick. But really, Bjarnason, heading it over the crossbar, ridiculous. He should have hit it in.
Well, I think Joe Hart was a little bit fortunate. Clearly,
so do I.
Unsettled by that mistake for the second goal. And Iceland did everything right. They put the ball high into the box, just a looping ball back in, and they went and challenged. Sigurdsson went and challenged him, put him under pressure. He missed his punch completely. Maybe a little bit fortunate to get a free kick. I don't think there was an awful lot in it. But as you said, didn't matter. The follow-up shot went over the bar.
And let's just get it right. Hart didn't get a hand on the shot. It went under his left arm. Inexcusable. We were concerned, Danny, weren't we, about England's defending before the tournament. And now those chickens are coming home to roost now. England 1, Iceland 2, 24 minutes played here in Nice.
It's a very old adage. You don't win anything without a great defence. Look at what the Italians have done. You need a solid base to work from, and maybe that is going to be England's downfall. Maybe not. There's still time to get back in this.
Italy were brilliant in beating Spain, the now former European champions, 2-0 earlier. Italy will play Germany in the quarter-final. England should be thinking a place in the last 8 is certain. Or that's what they must have thought before kickoff. It ain't now, folks. Iceland leading by 2-1. Here's Cahill to the right of his own penalty area. And if they were stung by the equaliser, the second Icelandic goal, it's like a slap across both cheeks for England. Now it's played down the right-hand side. Walker chases after. I don't think he's quick enough to get there. He isn't. And to great Icelandic cheers, it's gone behind for a goal kick. This is absolutely made for Iceland.
England look a little bit lost at the moment, a little bit like they did against Slovakia late on in that second half. They've lost a bit of confidence, not quite sure what to do. Game plan seems to have gone out of the window about getting the ball into wide areas. Sturridge on one side, Raheem Sterling on the other. Raheem Sterling's gone missing since that first 5 minutes where he had 2 runs into the box and did well. We've not seen him since then.
But the penalty wouldn't have happened in the first place if the goalkeeper hadn't been so rash. So Iceland need 2-1, and they're in possession with their captain Gunnarsson inside the centre circle. Plays it towards the right to Syversen, the right full-back, but it's beyond him. It's out of play, and it's a throw into those in white, which is taken by Rose to Smalling onto Cahill, just in advance of the D of the England penalty area. And now Kyle Walker, the right full-back. Ali is up alongside Kane up front, but the passing is square for the moment for England. It's with the captain Rooney, whose penalty put England in front in the 5th minute. Now Dyer onto the left-hand side, and it's played on by Rose to Sterling. Sterling, I'm not going to blame him for that, but it was good defending by the Icelandic fullback. He just flicked the ball into the shin of Sterling, and it went behind for a goal kick to Iceland.
You're right not to blame Raheem Sterling, but he's not being decisive at the moment, and that does show a lack in confidence. And at this level, if you hesitate, if you give the defender an opportunity, they will make the most of it. We know how good this Icelandic defence is.
Didn't we think when we saw the team for the last group game and Sterling was left out, he may not play again in the tournament because he's clearly shot to pieces, the young man. Anyway, England are being shot to pieces, trailing Iceland by 2-1. Here's the captain again, Gunnarsson, with a long throw down the right touchline, and it immediately puts the England defence under pressure. Rose clears it though to Rooney. Rooney into Dyer, and Dyer on, and it's going to run to Harry Kane. The ball was left for Kane by Sterling. Now Kane finds his club colleague Ali onto Sturridge. Sterling's on the far side of the post. He's come inside though. There's the cross in, and there's Harry Kane in the volley. Good save from the goalkeeper Alderson. Could have been 2-2.
Great technique from Harry Kane at the far post. Sturridge did well. Has to check back on his right foot. Kane does everything right. gets a great connection on it. Unfortunately, straight at the goalkeeper.
Rooney and Sturridge are England's best players. Not sure about the quality of the rest of them. Nearly 28 minutes gone here in Nice. Corner to England from the far side. Wayne Rooney to take it, right-footed, swinging in towards the goalkeeper, punch clear. Ali controls it, then he volleys it, and it's headed away once more, this time by Arneson. Collected by Rooney again, left side of the penalty. Deep cross, too deep for Sturridge. And not surprisingly, Sturridge couldn't bring the ball under control behind for a goal kick. Chris Waddle, I don't think what you're thinking at the moment.
I know, I agree with Alan. It's a shambles at the back. We said we couldn't defend and nobody's tested with it. And, I mean, these haven't really. They put 2 balls in the box, around the box, 2 goals. Joe Hart's got to put his hand up, obviously. But it's just, I agree with it. It's the only way in Rooney and Sturridge, who look threatening, who actually are playing probably to their abilities. Sturridge is playing a good position on that right-hand side, holding the width well. Sterling, it's still lacking confidence for me.
Here's Ali in the close proximity to Sterling, almost running into Sterling. Ali keeps the possession. And now Sterling's available. Sterling takes it up, left of the penalty area, and he's going to run at the fullback. Beats him now, checks onto his right foot, passes it back to Ali. Ali hasn't crossed it in, instead it's laid back once more to Wayne Rooney, and Rooney to Dyer. And England's body language isn't great, but here's Sturridge. Sturridge taking it up, running towards the penalty area, finds Sterling inside the box. Sterling faced by blue shirt, plays it to Rose. Rose's cross takes a deflection and is caught by the goalkeeper Holderson.
Be interesting to see what Chris Waddle thinks, but I think England would probably be better switching maybe to a 4-4-2, however they're going to do it. Put Sturridge down the middle with Harry Kane, get somebody on this right, even put Sterling on this right hand side and get somebody on the left. At the moment, Sturridge looks good and he looks sharp, but you want him in the middle to create chances. Sterling, even when he goes past people, hasn't got the confidence on his left foot to put in the early ball. And that means that Iceland players, defenders, can get back behind, get themselves set and snuff out the chance.
Walker plays it back to Cahill, onto the captain Rooney, and now Dyer left of the centre circle, running over the halfway line now into the Iceland half, flicks it forward towards Harry Kane. Understanding between Spurs players. Now here's another one. Ali goes down, but that was a dive, that wasn't a penalty kick, despite the holds of protest from the England fans. And Iceland now on the counter-attack. It's with Gylfi Sigurdsson on towards the far side of the field. Doesn't get the return pass because it's out of play off an England boot, and it's a throw into Iceland. We're just getting a replay of the challenge. Now, the defender wafted his foot at the ball. Ali sensed an opportunity and went down.
My fear is this is going to be Slovakia revisited. Iceland sit in, defend deep, and England just don't quite have the nous to break them down.
15 minutes to half-time. Iceland lead England by 2-1. England having taken the lead. Well, we all hoped for an early goal, and I thought, 1-0 could easily be transformed into 3-0, 4-0. Not at all. Ian Dennis's touch. Ian Dennis.
Cross. I think what they're trying to... I've seen Gary Neville twice hold up his left hand with 2 fingers. Just maybe watch for a tactical change. They're trying to get the message across, and I just wonder whether they might switch to a diamond.
Here's Sturridge, down the England right, back to Walker, the fullback. And now here Cahill. England down to walking pace at the moment. On to Dyer and Rooney. It's sluggish for England. Smalling inside the Icelandic half. On to Rose. And now Sterling takes it up. Clever little dummy by Raheem Sterling. Sterling gets forward. Then he's tackled. Fairly challenged. Loses the ball. And is cleared by Iceland. And the Iceland fans absolutely love that. Sterling created an opportunity for himself. Didn't make the most of it. Now here's Rooney. He's tackled. Loses the ball. Gunnarsson plays it in for Iceland. That was a wasted pass though. On by Sturridge. Kane trips on the ball. And it's cleared once more. And it's Sigurdsson. Good ball by Sigurdsson to the left side, and Bjarnason now pretty isolated. Sturridge has had to come back to double up with the defence. Bjarnason feeds it in. Sigurdsson to the near side. Skullerson on to Bjarnason. They're confident, Iceland. Why shouldn't they be? Having gone behind, they lead England by 2-1, and they've no inferiority complex whatsoever.
But that example with Sterling is exactly what I'm talking about. Great little dummy to let the ball run through his legs, skinned the fullback for pace, but then because it's on his left foot,
He wanted to check under
he
his right.
hesitates, wants to come onto his right foot, doesn't have the confidence to whip it in with his left foot, and that gives the defender the opportunity. I'd get it. Just give him 15 minutes on the right-hand side, see what he can do.
Here's another long throw from Gunnarsson into the penalty area. Oh, an Icelandic player went down there under a challenge by Wayne Rooney. Then the shot is driven in, and that troubles Hart, diving to his right. But fortunately for Hart, Skullason's effort was wide of the post.
Oh, dearie me. You know, it did bend a little bit. I think Joe Hart was worried about it. I think he pulled his hands away, in all fairness, in the end. Knew it had gone past the post. But again, long throw-ins, set pieces, causing England massive problems. And we knew this is exactly what Iceland were going to do.
12 minutes to half-time. You're listening to 5 Live in the BBC. Dan Walker and Chris Waddle will be hosting 6:06 at the conclusion of this game. And heaven help us in terms of the callers we'll get if this is the final scoreline. Throw into England. Ball goes back to Walker. Walker plays it onto the chest of Smalling, who controls it. On to Rose on the far side. England left. And now Sterling once more. Back to Rose. Iceland set up very compactly, 4-4-2. Now it's driven to the England right. Walker controls it well, close to the touchline, plays it back to Dyer, and Dyer into Sturridge. Sturridge turns away from an Icelandic player, and then the pass forward wasn't great, and they can bring it clear with Björgvinsson onto the far side, and back to Arnason. Arnason turns and plays it back to his goalkeeper, who'll be mighty relieved that his rash challenge on Sterling that gave away the penalty so far isn't hurting Iceland too much. But he gives away a throw in there. England have taken it on the far side of the field. It's played back by Kane. And here's Ali. Sturridge is round the edge of the penalty. Here's Rooney. Rooney's shot was wide of goal. It was also a cracked an arm.
We talked about this also, I think, with Martin Keown before the game and Mark Chapman. The fact that Iceland are quite happy to let people shoot from outside the box. It's not a huge problem. England can't get any decent possession. They're not getting round the back of the fullbacks. When they have on a couple of occasions, Sturridge down this side, check back, and great ball in for Harry Kane. Sterling hasn't really got down the side. I think they've got to change the fullbacks. Sorry, the high wide players. Give the Icelandic fullbacks a problem.
Rooney put England in front with a penalty after 5 minutes. 34 seconds later, Iceland equalised. And now Rooney loses the ball. And Iceland can counter-attack once more. That wasn't a great pass forward to Björgvinsson, but he finds his colleague on the far side, Sigurðsson, who scored the second of Iceland's goal tonight. Back to Gylfi Sigurðsson. Gylfi Sigurðsson shoots at goal. It was thankfully close enough to Joe Hart, who made the save comfortably.
I'd be interested to hear what Chris thinks about this, but it just seems when Iceland break, they're breaking with 2 or 3 players against 5 or 6 England players, but they're in space all the time, just like they were for the second goal. Nobody seems to be taking responsibility to go and close those players down and mark those players, and that's what Rio Ferdinand was talking about. When you're attacking, you've got to make sure you're locked in. You're locked into that midfield player or centre forward that's going to come short and pick the ball up. England are giving Iceland an easy out at the moment.
Stray pass by Wayne Rooney was behind Daniel Sturridge, and it's out for an Iceland throw-in. Thankfully it's inside the Icelandic half, so we don't have to worry about Gunnarsson's long throw. The ball goes back to the Icelandic goalkeeper Holderson, and he hits it upfield. Smalling wins the ball in the air, but Sigurðsson was waiting for it. Sigurðsson almost put a colleague in difficulty there, and he does a second occasion. He put the ball to Rooney, and now it's taken up by Harry Kane. Kane inside left channel, turns into his right foot, but immediately overruns the ball. He's tackled, loses it. Oh, that's a kind free kick awarded by the Slovenian referee, and there's a yellow card. Now, who's he giving the yellow card to? There are 7 of these Icelandic players.
Gylfi Sigurðsson. I don't think he's on one.
No, he's not. He's not. So that's now 8 of them, with a possibility of being suspended for the quarter-final. Can we really be thinking this? Icelandic players being suspended for a quarter-final, when here they are in the last 16 playing England. They're leading by 2 goals to 1. I'll bring in Chris Waddle in just a moment. We've got 7.5 minutes left in the first half. The free kick is from the England left. Harry Kane takes it right-footed, swirling in towards the far post. It was a half opportunity for Smalling, but it was a glancing header and it's behind for a goal kick. Come in, Chris.
I think they've just got caught up in it. I know they're getting beat 2-1 and you're chasing the game, but you've got to show composure. Get the shape, get the width back, just put your foot on the ball, because they're not really pressing you, till you get within the last 30-40 metres of the goal. So, you know, there's a lot of players where, you know, Diaz tried a lot of long balls, Rooney's trying to force it. Just get a little bit of composure, start moving the ball 1 and 2 touch and get the width back, and then just try and build from there. At the minute they're rushing everything, England.
Here's Walker for England, on towards Ali, who's in an advanced position. The ball might yet come to the Tottenham player, but 2 Icelandic defenders got across quickly, and one of them, the captain Gunnarsson, clears it to the halfway line. And there must have been a foul challenge on Gunnarsson, because it's going to be a free kick to Iceland.
And the problem is, if you thought Iceland had something to fight for at 0-0, you know, and we said if they get to half-time and it's 0-0, they'll start to grow in confidence. Now, yes, you know, they might start to fatigue in the second half, because the same team that has played every single game so far. But now they've really got something to hold on to. They are going to kick, they are going to bite and scratch and fight for every single ball.
Iceland has the population of Leicester, just over 300,000.
Leicester did all right, though, this year.
They did okay, but this is the European Championship, and it's shocking, the scoreline, in terms of the England perspective. 6 minutes to half-time here on 5 Live. England 1, Iceland 2. Throw into England, halfway inside their own half. Walker throws it straight to Skullerson, the left back for Iceland, who volleys it upfield. It goes out of play, I think off an Icelandic player. Yes, Bordfusson, but it's only an England throw in as a result. Bordfusson has stayed down, and the referee from Slovenia, Damir Skamin, is just checking that the Icelandic player is okay.
What will be
accidental
interesting,
collision of heads.
What will be really interesting, if England do manage to make it through to the quarter-final, goalkeeper, 2 mistakes, 2 costly errors.
Yeah, I think they were both bad mistakes as well.
I think you might have to think about changing him.
Really bad mistakes. Anyway, play has resumed. The Icelandic striker is okay. And here's Smalling for England. On to Rose on the far side of the field. Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half here on 5 Live. Ball is back with Smalling. And now to Cahill. And Cahill lays it towards the right side, towards Walker, and it's back to Cahill. And what they're looking at, England, is just 3 lines of Icelandic blue shirts between them and the Iceland penalty area. And at the moment, they haven't got the nous to find a way forward. Sterling has come inside. Rose is wide on the left and the far side of the field, and Rose takes it up from Rooney's pass onto Sterling. Rose is after it. The ball might bounce kindly for Danny Rose. Then he was challenged, but it was just a physical challenge that wasn't a foul, and it's behind for the goal kick.
No, for those that haven't seen Iceland play either live or on the television, it's a little bit like watching Stoke or West Brom under Tony Pulis. Very, very organised, rigid 4-4-2, happy to play from set pieces, and it's effective.
But you know what gets me when you say that, and you're absolutely right, Danny. Could Roy Hodgson not see this? How with his resources, can he not think of a way past Iceland? Well, he may yet do.
Iceland even told us their strengths. They were quite happy to brag about it as well.
Sigurdsson, that's Gylfi Sigurdsson, plays it back into his own half. Then Syverson hits it forward. It's now inside the centre circle. Syverson volleys it again towards the left side, but that's well beyond Bjarnason. And it doesn't really matter how scrappy Iceland's football is at the moment. They're leading by 2 goals to 1, and we're inside the 42nd minute of the game. What thinking needs to be done in that England dressing room at half-time? Smalling to Rose. How much better we'll feel if England can equalise before the interval. There's still plenty of time, but they're not playing well enough at the moment. Rose on the far side of the field. Dummies Goodmanson and brings the ball under control. Now he hits it through the centre circle to Cahill. Rooney's available. Rooney takes it up just over the halfway line. And Rooney slides the pass towards the left, towards Rose. Sterling's ahead of him, but he's not really an option, so the pass is infield instead to Smalling, and that's to Cahill, who's made 20 yards progress inside the Icelandic half, leaving it for Sturridge, and Sturridge crosses towards the far post, and that almost fooled the goalkeeper. It turned out to be as much of a shot as it was a cross, but Halldórsson caught it in time.
Slovakia, like I said, revisited, isn't it? You know, England now not quite sure what to do, can't get the ball with any real threat in the final third, and since that second goal went in, apart from that shot from Harry Kane, haven't really troubled the goalkeeper in any way, shape or form.
No, I think clearly the damage is obvious to England's confidence. When they should have been thriving courtesy of this man's early penalty, Wayne Rooney. Rooney's now been fouled. Gunnarsson, his opposite number, the Icelandic skipper, has fallen just a couple of yards in advance of the centre circle. So Rooney takes the free kick to Rose. On to Sterling on the far side of the field. Ali's gone across. Sterling wholly unconvincing with the possession of the ball there. England forced them to keep possession. It's with Cahill. On to Rooney. Back to Dyer. And there isn't an Icelandic player within 30 yards of the halfway line at the moment. Walker takes on his opposite number on the outside, plays it into Rooney. Rooney hits it on the volley, down into the ground, and wide of the goal was shot.
It's a difficult one for Rooney. It was driven in by Kyle Walker really, really fiercely. Came to Wayne Rooney quite quickly, misjudged it by a fraction, and instead of getting his foot on the ball, got his shin on the ball. We're just seeing a picture of Roy Hodgson with head in hand, rubbing his eyes, not quite sure what to do. I think he's got a brave call at half-time, and if he takes off Raheem Sterling, kills his confidence completely. But you've got to do the right thing for England and to get back and win this game.
Well, here we are in the final minute of the first half, and to repeat what is obvious out there, England have two players playing to form tonight, Rooney and Sturridge, nobody else. Iceland have a free kick just short of the halfway line.
Harry Kane's done okay when he's had the ball in decent areas. You know, he's had a couple of shots that haven't been too far away, but again he's had real limited service.
So here's a free kick which Arneson, the central defender, is going to take. Arneson of Malmo plays it right-footed deep towards this near side of the field, and Walker rises quickly and glances a header out of play. We're waiting for the fourth official. I don't think there is any added time. There isn't. And that first half, from an England perspective, was absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, I couldn't quite work out whether there was a few jeers or not that then turned into sort of applause, trying to get the team going. Incredibly disappointing. Great start. Raheem Sterling for 5 minutes, you thought, yeah, OK, he's got a little bit of confidence. He wants to make runs into the area. Appalling defending for the first goal. Just as bad defending, and then a real poor mistake from Joe Hart for the second. And England now are right up against it.
It really hurts to say this. England 1, Iceland 2.
England are 45 minutes away from an ignominious defeat. England's team now: Joe Hart, Walker, Cahill, Smalling and Rose. Then Wilshere with Ali and Rooney either side, Sturridge, Sterling and Kane. Iceland, as they started the match: Halldórsson, their goalkeeper, Sævarsson, Ragnar Sigurdsson, Arnason and Skulason, the back four, Gudmundsson, Gunnarsson, Gylfi Sigurdsson and Birkir Bjarnason, with Kolbeinn Sigthorsson and John Daddy Birdvarsson up front. England, if you've just joined us, well, what a night so far. England scoring early in the 5th minute, a Rooney penalty that was won by Raheem Sterling, but Iceland equalising 34 seconds later after a long throw. Ragnar Sigurdsson with that one, and then Kolbeinn Sigthorsson with a shot that Joe Hart dived to his left, got a hand to, but was unable to keep out of the net. Here is Wilshere then, straight into the action, playing it forward towards the edge of the box, and across comes central defender Sigurdsson and puts it out of play. Throw into England down the left. Don't take me home, the England supporters are singing. Well, that is the prospect that is facing them. Here's Wilshere, Kane, Rooney now. Rooney picks out Sturridge on the right corner of the box. Sturridge has Walker on the overlap. Sturridge though comes inside, gives it back to Rooney. Rooney then dinks it in. Ali backpedaling, only half headed away by Sævarsson. Comes out and is cleared away. And then Smalling wins a header, but that's whacked away downfield by Sævarsson, the right back. Floodlights brightly on now here in Nice, and Jack Wilshere having replaced Eric Dyer. Rooney hitting a pass that Sturridge really had no chance. did well to half control it, and then Sturridge then slides in with a challenge and concedes a free kick. And actually, Damir Skomina might be pulling out a yellow card for that. He does, for the challenge on the left back, Skulason. Danny Mills.
Had to be a yellow card. Sturridge just let the ball slip away from him in his eagerness to try and win it back. Just dived in from behind. That's always going to be a yellow card. England, they've got to come up with something different. You know, the difference at the moment is the Icelandic defence are comfortable in what they do. They're organised. They don't panic. They just get on with their job. They're not fazed or flustered by any England changes.
Iceland playing it over the top, down the right for Sigthorsson, who is challenged by Rose, and it deflects out of play for
another long throw.
And here he comes, the captain, Aron Gunnarsson of Cardiff City, with his bristling Icelandic beard, and takes the throw to the edge of the penalty area. England trying to close down Gylfi Sigurdsson. Wilshere just about got there and blocked it away to the halfway line, but Gylfi Sigurdsson totally unmarked, 25 yards out. England fearing the long throw. Then a long pass from the back from Syverson is only half headed away further by Walker, and the ball bounces out of play 10 yards inside the England half. So it's 2-1. The scoreline: England 1, Iceland 2. And with that scoreline, it would be France against Iceland in the quarter-final, and England would be going home. Smalling. Oh, it was straight over the top of Smalling's head. There's a appeal for an offside decision, which is given against Johan Gudmundsson on the edge of the box. So free kick to England, who I must say haven't started the second half particularly convincingly.
And this is the problem. You know, what has Roy Hodgson said to those players at half-time? He must have given them clear instructions and made a substitution. He has to have given them a game plan and said, right, this is what you have to go out and do. This is how I want you to start. So either Roy Hodgson's given them the wrong information, or the players aren't doing what he's told them.
England playing from right to left. Rooney stretching for it, finds Rose. Rose now on the left-hand side. Rose making good ground down the left, and then is bundled over by Johan Gudmundsson, and it's a free kick. And Johan Gudmundsson is one of those players. Almost the whole Icelandic team are one yellow card away from missing the quarter-final, and it's only a free kick. So a chance for a set piece. The teams in the second half attacking towards the bulk of their supporters. So many red and white England flags behind the goal that is being defended by Hannes Halldórsson, and he is lining up his two-man wall. This is from an angle on the left. Kane is going to take the set piece with his right foot. Kane waits for the whistle. Here he comes then, swirls it into the edge of the 6-yard box, and it was headed away out to the far side. Wilshere will actually just keep it in over there, and now plays a left-footed high ball, a raking pass. Kane wins the header and heads it down into the 6-yard box, where goalkeeper Halldórsson just drops on it.
But the difference again, when that ball was cleared, the two Icelandic centre-backs were pointing and shouting. Arnason and Sigurdsson were saying, right, you get in here, you mark him, do your job, get back in, and when the second ball comes back in, we defend it properly. That's what England didn't do, and that's why as a defender you don't have to always be the greatest player, but you need to be commanding and a good organiser.
Lars Lagerbäck, the joint coach, was saying yesterday, you know, the strength of this Icelandic team is the fact that they're such a strong group of friends, really, and he said that they've played together for years and years, and you can see that spirit, which is writ large. And here's their star man, Gylfi Sigurdsson, who was involved in the build-up to the second Icelandic goal, and he's crossing now, but it's over the top of Gudmundsson, and it will just run out of play for a throw into England in their own left-back position. So 2-1 to Iceland. Yep, if you've just switched on, 2-1 to Iceland. England are heading out unless they can produce something dramatic. Chris Waddle's listening back in Paris.
Yeah, not a lot of improvement, not a lot of difference to the passing. The tempo's been all right really through the game, but the movement and set pieces, that really, John, is not just breaking now, but set pieces. Nobody
Sterling
moves the
gets
ball.
a fortunate bounce of the ball, Chris. Sterling then hits Gunnarsson with his pass in field. It's back to Wilshere. Come back to Chris in a moment. Wilshere to his right to Rooney. Rooney now clips the pass towards Sturridge. Oh, it bounces up awkwardly and hits him on the arm. No free kick given for handball. He's fortunate there. Sturridge and England. Walker now down the right, up against Bjarnason, and back onto his left side and plays it back to Rooney behind him. Rooney, has given it away, passes it straight to Sigþórsson, and Iceland have got the ball back and will look to a counter-attack here through left-back Skúlason, and then they give it away, and Sterling is fouled in centre field. I think England are going to look to take a quick free kick here, but Wilshere rather cannily, Sævarsson ran across him, so wasn't able to do that. England need to move the ball more quickly. That was another message that we had before the game, and they're simply not doing that at the start of the second half. Cahill to Smalling, and now Wilshere, deep line position. Wilshere curling it through. Ali with a run, but it bounces through to goalkeeper Hal Dawson. So back to Chris Waddle again. Chris.
As you're saying, John, set pieces, it's strength of Iceland. Every ball coming in the box they deal with quite comfortably. So why don't England have a bit of imagination, move the ball, try and move people around a bit, then put the ball in the box? You may get a bit more movement. They're dominating every ball what goes into the box, but we just keep putting the ball in there. It's very easy for them.
Equally, Chris, I'm not convinced that England will keep a clean sheet if they give away set pieces.
Yeah, Bjarnason now making ground down the left-hand side, looks to the left-back Skúlason, and Skúlason, I'm not sure he was able to keep that in. He wasn't before he cut it back. So it's a goal kick to England. 5 Live, BBC 5 Live, here in Nice, where it is 2-1 to Iceland, and we're already 8 minutes into the second half. It's dark now, we can see the twinkling orange lights on the hills above the stadium. The quarter-finals begin on Thursday along the Côte d'Azur in Marseille, and with this scoreline it'll be Iceland who are in the last 8, not England.
Problem at the minute, John, the last 2 attempts England going forward, and even now players are having 2-3 touches every single time before they release the ball, and that means those Icelandic players, that buys them time and they can get organised behind the ball. England have got to start popping it off 1 and 2 touch max to move those players out the way.
Well, Wilshere's caught in possession. Sigurdsson tries to win a throw-in, and then Smalling has to come to the rescue and tackle it out of play for a throw-in. There's no one in the Iceland coaching area, even though they've got 2 coaches. It's
well, they don't need to. They don't need to, John. They know their jobs. It's working well. They're organised. The coach is just happy to sit back and say, look, I've told you what to do. Go out and do it.
The Icelandic supporters are having an absolute ball here. I mean, this is...
Well, they're going to be heroes.
Their wildest
these players are going to be heroes.
They're already
no matter
heroes.
What happens? Yeah, exactly. No matter what happens.
Gunnarsson with a long throw into the England penalty area, comes off the head of Smalling. Sigþórsson putting him under pressure. Corner to Iceland from the right. Remember, they're very useful from set pieces.
More than useful, John. They cause all sorts of problems.
Smalling was pulling the shirt, of Sigþórsson there. We've just seen the replay. Yeah, just Smalling, who's been pulled up for that in the past. That was in the penalty area. Here's the corner then. Deep corner. Gunnarsson going for the header. Heads it back across the box. Sigþórsson with the header. An overhead kick. It hits Joe Hart, who's blocked it away. Well, England were fortunate there. The overhead kick, that could have gone anywhere, either side of Joe Hart, and it was in the net. And it was Ragnar Sigurdsson again, the central defender, who very nearly scored his second goal of the game.
Lucky England. The overhead kick from the centre back goes straight at Joe Hart, and it hits him rather than make sense. But again, there was 2 free headers. Ball comes into the box. 2 players at the far post were completely unmarked. Comes back across. Kyle Walker gets out, jumped again, and it leads to another chance. Just got to defend properly.
Back down to behind the goal at the other end, Ian Dennis.
Brief of the substitutes were already celebrating in their purple bibs. They'd run off the bench and then quickly had to retreat after that Hart save.
Long throw from Gunnarsson. Here it is into the England penalty area. Smalling comes, get the header away. Sterling heads it further on. Then Ali, his header clear. Gunnarsson wins it. Rooney. It's so frantic and congested. Iceland are winning 2-1. Still so much time in the game to play. Still 35 minutes to go. But the feel of the tempo of the game at the moment is almost last 5 minutes stuff.
And that'll be because, John, of what happened against Slovakia. They had all that time to create chances, make opportunities, and they didn't.
Back heel, down the line, but Walker isn't able to run onto it, and it's out of play for a throw-in. And Iceland have that throw halfway inside their own half. Alarm bells are ringing loudly. This is not looking good for England. Throw-in that Skulason is going to take. And then Cahill and Walker together. There's a breakdown of communications between those two. Cahill heads it into the back of Walker. And England need a moment of magic here. They need a moment of inspiration that's out of keeping with what we are seeing, what we're watching.
They haven't troubled the goalkeeper at all in this second half. They haven't created an opportunity yet.
Bjarnason plays it forward to Sigthorsson. The ball bounces off him and out of play for a throw into England, level with the edge of their own penalty area. Walker waiting to take it. Has a little bit of an air of the 1990 World Cup game that Chris Waddle was involved in against Cameroon. Tournament novices playing against England gave them a massive shock, and England only got through that one in extra time. Here is Smalling. Rose hits a long pass. Kane now tries to slip it forward. Sterling on the chase, but Sævarsson plays it back to goalkeeper Halldórsson, who rather slices it. We talked about his kicking, didn't we, before the game? Kane does well against two Icelandic defenders. Rooney now, middle of the Iceland half, to Sturridge on the right hand side. Walker is there. Walker, but the pace has dropped again. Back to Sturridge. Sturridge closed down by Sigthorsson. Walker once more. Walker plays it in, but hits the first defender, Skulason, who's able to clear it away out of play easily.
England are like mannequins in the middle of the park, all stood in the box, just watching. No one making any movement, no one dropping deep. And that's, you've got to move the ball quickly. 1-2 touch, side to side, backwards and forwards. Move these Icelandic defenders.
Referee Skamina just took a moment there to speak to Wayne Rooney and Gylfi Sigurdsson. Not sure what that was about. Throw in then. England are going to try a long throw from Walker. Cahill tries to flick it on, but it's headed away by Ragnar Sigurdsson. Now back to Wilshere. Wilshere driving, plays it square though to Rooney, who clips it back out to Walker, who has to backpedal and chest it down. Lots of white shirts in the area. Walker's delivery is very deep, almost right over the penalty area. Sterling though scampers after it. Sterling has it back in possession, puts his foot on the ball. Sterling taking on Sævarsson, plays it into his shins, but the right back is able to recover and tap it out for a throw-in next to the corner flag. And England are going to make a second change now with almost an hour gone, and it is Sterling who makes way, and Vardy will come on to replace him. So it was a risk, Danny, to bring on, to start with Raheem Sterling. He won the early penalty, but since then he's made a little contribution, and Jamie Vardy now comes on. And will this mean a change for England in terms of the formation, I wonder?
Yeah, just spoken to Dele Alli.
Yeah, Vardy speaking to Sturridge as well. Throw-in is taken. Iceland are winning 2-1. Here's Walker to Sturridge, who peels away from Skulason. Just got a little touch on that though, the left back. Sturridge then in the full-back area on his left foot, crosses, deflected. Ali is there, but hoists his shot from 12 yards high over the crossbar.
Well, we said before the game, when chances arise, got to take them. It did bounce up a little bit awkwardly at a difficult height, but he does just misjudge it very, very slightly. Comes off the top of his ankle rather than his foot.
Have we got a change for England in terms of the formation? Rooney's actually moved to a right of centre position.
Yeah, Ali's come out to the left hand side. That's it. I mean, whereas it's almost a 4-4-2.
England 1, Iceland 2. Rooney miscontrols it, so Gylfi Sigurdsson wins it back from him. Sigurdsson trying to draw the foul. In actual fact, plays the pass to Gudmundsson, and Danny Rose is able to come across and nip it away from Gudmundsson. Hart put under pressure, great pressing from Gudmundsson. Now Walker, we're into the last half hour. Walker away from Sigthorsson. Walker still going, but there is a covering challenge. Fortunate for Walker that he was able to take it on, and then yet again another Icelandic defender, Skulason, arrives on the scene, and they have it back.
What I want to know, John, has Roy Hodgson said to the players at half time, right, if it's not going well in the first 15 minutes, I'm bringing on Vardy and this is how I want you to play?
Ali very nearly found the pass through to Sturridge, only half cleared. Rooney couldn't pick up the loose ball.
Or is it like Slovakia, where he's just gone, oh, let's just put more forward players on and see what happens?
Gudmundsson lifts the ball downfield. Gary Cahill is fouled by Bjarnason, much to the anger of the Icelandic supporters. Break in play though, a chance to bring in Chris Waddle.
Yeah, well, John, I think they're asking questions, but when they do get the ball away, they've got 4 or 5 in the box. The quality, or they don't deliver, or the quality is very, very poor. The forcing issue, obviously, Iceland are dropping off slightly, coming off the pace, but they still carry that massive threat on the counter-attack, and England are still not using the ball well enough.
5 Live, England 1, Iceland 2. Tomorrow on 5 Live we'll bring you commentary on Andy Murray's first round match at Wimbledon, second on centre court. Coverage on 5 Live of Wimbledon from 12 o'clock tomorrow. But if this scoreline stays the same, there'll be enormous fallout from it at breakfast and throughout the day, and indeed in 6:06 tonight with Dan Walker, who's presenting it from Paris along with Chris. A long ball from Wilshere into the penalty area, but it's over the top of Vardy, and the 2 central defenders there doing a job on Vardy, and it bounces through to the goalkeeper.
And this is what I'm concerned about, John. You know, has Roy Hodgson really said, this is what happens if I bring Jamie Vardy on, this is how we're going to play, you know, in this situation? Or are they just making it up as they go along? That is my concern. I'd have brought on Rashford. You know, Vardy wants to run in behind, run into space. There is no space.
Roy Hodgson has 1 substitution left. They might just have 1 substitution left as England manager. Wilshere plays it forward, it deflects. Kane back to Wilshere, but it's a bouncing ball. He loses out, but then Smalling plays it back into the centre circle. Iceland still lead 2-1. Walker. Then back to Cahill. And Cahill, Wilshere once again drops deep and makes himself available. But Iceland just sitting in there and saying to England, come on then, what have you got? Are you going to be able to break us down? Wilshere, curling pass. I'm not sure Rose is going to be able to reach that. He doesn't. The ball just skims away straight through behind for a goal kick.
Well, whatever happens, and if it stays like this, Ian Dennis's first question to Roy Hodgson has to be, what was the plan in the second half? Because at the moment, I can't see it. There doesn't look to be any sort of change from the first half. Yes, he's made substitutions, but I don't see a way of playing, a way to try and something different, to try and break down this defence.
Roy Hodgson stands all alone on the edge of the coaching area with his hand on his chin. Here's Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson overhits the pass, so it's a throw-in for England. Almost the first time now we do see Heimir Hallgrímsson, the young part-time dentist who is about to take over this job as head coach on his own, and he now is there on the edge of the coaching area. He'll be giving up the dentistry, incidentally, in case you were wondering. But England losing to this spirited bunch of Icelandic players.
I thought you were going to go down the he's full of smiles route then for a minute.
Here's Rooney. Rooney, deflected pass, finds Kane. Kane now has Ali to his left, his Tottenham teammate. It's a little short, that pass. Oh, and then Ali was fouled there by Gunnarsson, he was. And that's a yellow card for Aaron Gunnarsson. And
they're doing well to share out the yellow cards, aren't they?
I thought he must surely be one of the players who was on a yellow card away, but he isn't.
There's only one player now, I think. Is that Böðvarsson? That isn't on a yellow card.
That's right, Böðvarsson, he'll be the next one.
Well, who either get sent off or obviously miss the next game.
Yes. Right, free kick. Now it's a long way out. This is 35 yards plus. Harry Kane slightly left of centre. Can Harry Kane provide the big moment for England? There are 25 minutes. From an England point of view, the hands of the clock seem to be whizzing around, and they're making little impression. Free kick. Harry Kane waiting to take it. Wall of 3 Icelandic players, and Smalling's there as well. So Harry Kane goes for goal, but it's well wide by 6 yards and more. And you can hear a little bit of anger, I think, from the England supporters, as if to say, you know, have you not more than that? Have England not got more than that to offer? Back behind that goal to Ian Dennis.
Yeah, they're behind me, they're over my left shoulder. Cries of what was that? A few expletives in there as well, boos and jeers, and they're getting very, very restless.
Just over a quarter of the 90 minutes to go, and England heading out. Sturridge on the right. Sturridge's cross headed down by Gunnarsson. No one there in a white shirt. 3 players inside the box, but it's hammered away downfield by the blue shirts of Iceland, and it's eventually bouncing out of play for a throw-in that Smalling will take to Cahill. Sure, many England supporters have had all sorts of plans put in place to head to Paris in the expectation that Iceland would be dismissed and it would be France against England on Sunday night, but not so. Here's Rooney winning his 115th cap tonight. He scored his 53rd goal for England. Kane, then Wilshere, back to Rooney again. Rooney has a look up, dummies to cross, and then Gylfi Sigurdsson cleverly recovers and puts it out of play on the far side. Even Rooney's labouring now, maybe trying to do too much on his own. Rooney chips it infield to Wilshere. Wilshere chests it down into his path, shoots low, but that's well wide as well by 6 yards and more.
It's exactly the same as Slovakia. It's basically saying we need an individual to come up with something special. There's no real game plan. There's no clear, obvious tactical way to break down this side. It's basically hope.
It's sorry for England. It's England 1, Iceland 2, and here's Alan Green.
It's clueless. Straightforward, clueless. Exactly as it was in the closing stages of the game against Slovakia. But the question is, I mean, Iceland have given an awful lot in this game. Are they going to hold out? It only needs one moment of inspiration from England, and surely they have players on the field who could provide that inspiration. But here's Bjarnason. There was earlier referee's whistle for a foul challenge, and it's an England free kick played by Cahill to the far side and Walker. We've got less than 22 minutes to go. Sturridge with just a hopeful ball forward, easily cleared by Ragnar Sigurdsson, who equalised, remember, a mere matter of seconds after Rooney's penalty put England in front. And then a little bit later, Sigthorsson made it 2-1. That was in the 18th minute. England on the attack down the near side. That's the left. Rose has got past one defender, crosses into the penalty area, an attempted volley clearance away. Ball falls to Rooney. Oh, Rooney slips. Rooney looks exhausted. He looks out in his feet, Rooney.
Well,
he lost the ball.
He was rested in the last game. He shouldn't be exhausted.
That's how he looks, isn't it?
I understand. I think maybe he's trying too hard. Possibly players aren't on the same wavelength. He's looking for things and they're not there, and that's why he's hesitating and then getting caught on the ball.
Goodison plays it to Savarsson over the halfway line. It's played long. Goodness gracious, there was suddenly 2 against 1 for Iceland up against Cahill. It says, well, Cahill headed the ball clear to safety. Now Harry Kane on to Vardy into the penalty. Good tackle. Nothing wrong with a challenge. It might not even go behind for a corner. I think it has. There's a corner.
What a tackle that was.
Great tackle.
First opportunity for Jamie Vardy, turn, running, the goal scorer, Sigurdsson, and he dives in, last ditch challenge, hooks his foot around the ball. Outstanding defending.
Exactly what the goalkeeper didn't do in the challenge on Sterling, which led to England's penalty.
Had to time it to absolute perfection and did.
So Rooney to take the corner in front of the England fans. 20 minutes left for play. England trail by 2-1 here in 5 live. Rooney from the left to deliver right-footed. There it goes into the near post, and it's a simple header clear. Didn't beat the first defender. Now Wilshere. Back to Rose. Rooney's available down the left side. Rose doesn't need his captain at the moment. Now he does. It's played to Rooney. He steps inside, flicks it, overhits it. Wildly overhits it. Behind for a goal kick. Chris, it's not getting any better, is it?
No. It's unfortunately Sturridge has gone out of the game, and Sturridge has got to start wandering and get on the ball somewhere around the last third. He's just nullified. He's not getting anything on that wing now. Wayne Rooney unfortunately is doing everything, and some are coming off, some are not, but he's the only one who seems to be getting on the ball and demanding the ball, and you need a few more to follow him. But Iceland very comfortable at the minute, defending very, very comfortably.
Rose in the volley, finds Ali. Vardy in the edge of the penalty area. That wasn't a great ball by Vardy. Harry Kane couldn't control that, but Sturridge keeps it in play on the far side of the field. England 1, Iceland 2. Here's Jack Wilshere. And Wilshere wants width down the left side. The ball is into Smalling. Now it's Cahill, and it's going right. It's with Walker. Walker with Sturridge to his right. Not the best of passes to Sturridge. Sturridge gets there before Skulason, the left back. In it goes. Kane shoots. Blocked by the defender. How many blocks have Iceland made? They just defend so well. Then Bjarnason on the far side of the field. Bjarnason almost got beyond Walker. Bjarnason has to stop now. Into Gylfi Sigurdsson. Gylfi Sigurdsson to Bjarnason once more. Ball's on the halfway line, down the Icelandic left. Back to Skulason. And they're getting confident now, Iceland. Passing the ball amongst themselves, making England chase. England aren't chasing very well at the moment. And to hear the response from the Icelandic fans, that's a great crossfield ball, hit by the captain Gunnarsson to the right side, and Cyberson into the England penalty, shoots, and it's just over the crossbar. Not entirely convinced that Joe Hart had it covered.
It's a great strike from the fullback, just sat up nicely for him, just bobbled up. I think Joe Hart might have got there had it been under the crossbar. But a worry, we watched probably the worst game ever in European Championship history the other night. There were no shots. England have not had a shot on target in this second half.
Well, that's the thing that has disappointed me amongst so many things tonight about England's performance. We talked about the chances they created in the group games, Danny, and undoubtedly they did. But they didn't score the goals that the chances merited. And the goals but tonight they haven't even had chances.
The goals we did score. Dyer's free kick, the goalkeeper dived the wrong way to start with. You know, poor goalkeeping. Vardy was lucky, it was an offside. You know, Ashley Williams headed it backwards. Sturridge, okay, that was a decent goal. Caught the keeper out, and then Rooney gets a penalty.
Terrible ball by Ali, but Walker made the best of it. Kept it in England's possession. It's with Rooney. On to Walker again. The run forward by Ali. Walker tried to find Sturridge, and that wasn't an easy option, and he didn't do it. And now it's cleared over the halfway line. Sigthorsson on the far side of the field, just encouraging the England defender to put the ball out of play for what the Icelandic wanted, a throw-in. And they'll slow it down, and who would blame them? It is a sensational story what Iceland are doing in this European Championship. England are going to make another change, and it's Marcus Rashford who's coming on.
I just hope it's not too late.
Well, it could be for Sturridge, because otherwise it's just a matter of putting on every attacking player you've got and hoping that something comes off. There's a mistake. The ball is with Iceland on the edge of the England penalty here, but Gudmundsson could not find his way through. The ball's back to Hart, and now it's clear to Rose. On to Ali, over the halfway line. England left. Rashford will be a change, imminent. Arguably, he should have come on instead of Vardy, but who knows? Here is Vardy.
The big concern is England aren't battering Iceland at the moment, creating chance after chance. The goalkeeper's having an absolute worldie. He's had nothing to do in this second half.
16 minutes left to play. Good ball forward to Harry Kane, edge of the penalty. Kane was then falling on the defender. I mean, he was trying to encourage a free kick or a penalty kick. Even better, he got neither, rightly so, and Bjarnason has the ball for Iceland. Onto the far side of the field, and Bjarnason. Bjarnason moving in, and then taps it back to his central defender, Sigurdsson. That's Ragnar Sigurdsson. His clearance over the halfway line, which is just a way of giving England the ball back.
I think England are going to have to get lucky.
Cahill to Ali in the centre of the Iceland half. On it goes to Wilshere. Wilshere approaching the penalty to Sturridge. Sturridge wafts the ball into the air, into the box. The header on, and it's easily saved by the goalkeeper.
As it stands, I can't see it being a brilliant team goal or something magical. They're going to have to get lucky at some point. Goalkeeper still hasn't had a save to make, and this is exactly what happened against Slovakia. Chuck on all the players, and I go, whatever happens, if Deno's listening, Deno can hear me, you have to ask Roy Hodgson, what was the plan in the second half, and was there a plan when you brought on the substitutes that the players were told at half-time? Because it doesn't look like there is.
Now they've got the ball on the edge of the England penalty. There was a foul challenge, but it's with Bjarnason, but Bjarnason still going, edge of the 6-yard box. Taps it to a non-existent blue shirt on the far side of the field, and it's cleared by Sturridge, but straight into Iceland's possession again. Inside the final quarter of an hour, Iceland lead 2-1, and then Skulason, the left back, looked exhausted as he came forward, and the ball squirts through to Joe Hart. Maybe the first question to Roy Hodgson should be, do you have a nerve, and are you going to try to stay in your job?
No, he's got to ask him what the plan was in the second half, because there has been none whatsoever. Iceland now making a couple of changes. They've all worked very, very hard. So if Iceland had decent attacking players, no, that's wrong. If they were better at attacking in numbers, they could be winning this 4 or 5-1 at the moment. They've had better chances. They've created better opportunities in the second half than England have.
Elmer Bjarnason is coming on, so we've got two Bjarnasons on the pitch, and the man being replaced is Bjarnason. And there's no great hurry, is there?
He's the only player that was on the booking.
Sorry, hold on a second. Is that a change of plan? Because actually the player who's come off is Sigthorsson.
I think they put up the wrong number.
Yeah, they must have
Sigthorsson
done.
has come up.
Even at European Championship level, they got it wrong, the officials. Björn stays on the field. Well, they've worked so hard, those two strikers. Iceland, nevertheless, looked very tired themselves. They've been just holding England out, even though, frankly, on this England display, it hasn't been that difficult to hold England out. England 1, Iceland 2, 13 minutes to go. Bringing Chris Waddle in just a moment. Here's Rose, back to Smalling, inside the England half, on to Cahill, and Cahill to Wilshere. And Wilshere, just of age, being caught in possession there on the far side of the field. Then he puts Walker under pressure. Sturridge collects it, back to Cahill. Rooney drops into the centre circle. The captain on the halfway line. Rooney slides the pass to the far side of the field, and it's with Walker, the right fullback. We've got 12 and a half minutes plus added time remaining here in Nice. The future is not bright. Here's Rooney again to Kane, who dropped into the inside right channel. Kane sweeps the cross in the direction of Vardy, headed away by the defender, and it's still inside the penalty area. Vardy challenging for the ball and wins it back for England. Vardy plays it to Walker, to Vardy once more. Sturridge is inside the penalty area, but the pass goes back to Wilshere. Wilshere chips it forward. Kane is there, heads it straight at the goalkeeper, and he wasn't offside.
Wasn't the easiest of chances. He pulled off at the back post. Goalkeeper was in a very, very good position. Centre of the goal. I'm not a centre forward, but I think that's a difficult chance to score from that angle. You almost just got to loop it into the far corner.
What are your thoughts, Chris Waddle?
I totally agree with Danny. It's not an easy chance. Good ball, good movement by Harry Kane. But they're not crosses, Alan. They're coming through the middle again all the time. They're getting shots blocked.
Not from wide.
Always, and they don't put the ball in when they get wide, though. Put the ball in the box.
11 and a bit minutes to go. Here's Gunnarsson, the captain, with the throw in. He's not near enough to the penalty area to throw it into the England box. It now pops up on the left-hand side with Birkir Bjarnason. Onto the substitute, Elmer Bjarnason. He loses it, and then he foul tackles an England player, and it's going to be a free kick going into the right of the penalty area. Joe Hart rushes to take it. Hart certainly at fault for the second Icelandic goal. Now it's with Ramsey. Ramsey's middle of his own half. On to Rooney. Ali rushes forward, inside left channel. Sturridge has been given the freedom to wander, it appears. Sturridge pops up just left of the centre circle at the moment. Sturridge, good ball forward to Kane. Kane to Ali. Ali chips it toward Vardy. Vardy is there, but the goalkeeper advanced quickly and got to the ball first.
What happened to Rashford?
What did happen to Rashford?
He was stripped, ready to come on. Wasn't he?
Well, he's still not on. And even so, I was posing the question who he'd come on for. I thought he'd come on for Sturridge. But let's see. Dear oh dear. Here's Wilshere. We've got 10 minutes to go here in 5 Live. England 1, Iceland 2. Walker on the far side of the field. Walker has to play it back to Cahill. No options further forward. England players too static. Iceland players marking.
Milestone for Iceland, 80 minutes. They've got now 10 minutes to hang on. They will start to believe now that they can make this miracle happen.
Well, it would easily be the standout result of this European Championship, and one of the worst England results of all time. The ball played towards Sturridge. Sturridge dances away from 2 challenges, but not the third. It's played back to Ragnar Sigurdsson. He plays it to Skullisson on the far side of the field. His attempted clearance was blocked, and now it's one back, and again Sigurdsson goes in, makes the challenge. Brilliant challenge on Vardy, and Sigurdsson is then fouled by Jamie Vardy. Free kick to Iceland.
That's how to play against Jamie Vardy. You know, fight fire with fire. You know, Jamie Vardy, strong, aggressive player. Sigurdsson is quite happy to do that all day long.
2-1 Iceland lead. It's a scoreline that's very hard to believe. 9 minutes to go. And we're not belittling Iceland's performance, are we, Danny?
No,
we know they're a really good side.
But we
in
knew
terms
what
of
they
their
were going to do, Alan.
organisation.
We knew what they were going to do. The coach told us how they were going to play. He told us they were going to be dangerous from set pieces. He told us they were going to score. And that's exactly what they've done.
A little bit of a skirmish on the far touchline involving Cahill and Birker Bjarnason. Play continues with England having possession. It's with Rose. There's nobody wide on the left-hand side for Danny Rose. So he comes forward and almost inevitably he runs into an Iceland challenge and the ball squirts into the England half and out of play for an England throw-in, which is taken by Joe Hart.
82 minutes gone. One header from Harry Kane on target in the second half. That is it. Not good enough.
Cahill for England. Leaves it for Wilshere. Wilshere has Walker inside. And it goes to the right fullback. But look at the players further forward. Who's making the run? The pass goes to Kane. Kane almost lost possession carelessly. It comes back to Smalling. On now to Rooney. Rose is available on the left side. Rose takes it up into Ali. Ali about 30 yards from goal. Ali now to Kane. Oh, Kane took us off the ball. Probably waiting for the challenge. And it's Bjarnason on the far side of the field who wins it for Iceland. Back to the left fullback Skullerson and carefully played forward to Gylfi Sigurdsson. Bjarnason again driving it forward. And do you know something? They've still left two players upfield.
They've got to be careful. England are playing 2-on-1 at points.
Oh, there's a good ball through. The captain's after it. Gunnarsson into the penalty area. Gunnarsson still going forward. Shoots. Saved by Hart. Could have been 3-1 easily.
Again, lucky England. Jack Wilshere does his best to track back, but he's just brushed aside by the skipper, who gets it caught under his feet, but still manages to get the shot away. And again, fortunate was a comfortable save in the end for Joe Hart.
The lines are open for 606 0500 909 693.
I think the lines might be jammed.
Well, less than 7 minutes to go before any added time. Iceland have carried more goal threat in the second half. They've got a corner, played in, and the header was then wide of goal. Hart rushes to get the ball to take the goal kick as quickly as he can.
I said that earlier, Alan. Iceland have created more opportunities in the second half than England have.
It's desperate.
Where's the next substitution? Rashford has put his bib back on, he's warming up again. He was stripped off ready to come on. James Milner's warming up. Roy, we've created one chance in the second half.
The thing, either Rashford or Milner could provide width.
Something's got to change in this last 5.5 minutes.
As against Slovakia, we wonder about the man on television at the moment, Roy Hodgson. Is his thinking clear enough? If it is, has it been transmitted to the players? Are they responding? Here's Ali into Kane, 35 yards from goal. On it goes, Vardy inside the penalty. Angle's very acute. Vardy crosses low, hit high. Kane jumps. Kane heads it down. Brought down by Sturridge, not quickly enough, but the flag is up for offside, and it's a free kick to Iceland. And we've got a bit over 5 minutes to go here on 5 Live.
Iceland are now going to run the clock down. They're going to boot the ball long as often as they possibly can and try and just kill the game at every opportunity. You know, you normally get at least a good chance in the last 5 minutes. Well, England have created one in 45 minutes. They'll probably get one or two chances. Somebody has got to put it away.
Rashford's bib is off. Hodgson is standing about 3 yards to his left. There's a hold-up in play for a free kick to Iceland. The substitution can be made now. The fourth official has woken up. And yes, that's a number 22 and Rashford's back. What's the number of the England players going to be taken off? We'll not see it yet because Iceland have taken the free kick. Play towards the left side and a glancing header out by Iceland for a throw into England. Deep inside that England half. It's Wayne Rooney who's coming off. Well, almost that sums it up. Rooney unquestionably and Sturridge were England's best players before half-time. I think the contribution of the captain sort of fell away in the second half. But it's a United colleague who replaces the United captain.
I tell you what, Roy hasn't half made a rod for his own back, hasn't he? Playing Raheem Sterling against popular opinion, taking off England's greatest goal scorer in the last 4 minutes of a match when you're desperate to score a goal. If this doesn't work, I think bye-bye Roy.
Well, here's Rashford. Ali runs forward, was tackled. The ball breaks to Rashford, and finally the referee gives an England free kick. And oh goodness, Ali far too aggressive there and taking the ball back from the Icelandic player. And then he had a word to say to the referee Skamina. He ran away before he could be booked. England tried to steal a couple of yards, moving the ball infield. It's from the left side for England. Harry Kane to deliver. 3 minutes of the 90 to go. England trail Iceland 2-1. England need a goal to take us to extra time. Kane, right-footed, plays it wildly overhitting it. Awful. Chris Waddle.
Unbelievable what I'm watching. I'm sorry. I've just lost for words, Alan. I know England's had some bad results over the years, but to lose to Iceland, I just can't work it out. It's the worst result I've ever seen.
Sums it up, as always, from Chris Waddle. Ian Dennis's pitch side.
Huge show of disapproval with that wasted free kick. The supporters, their mood before was restless, now it's just downright angry.
Now Traustason, who scored the winning goal in added time against Austria, he will replace Budvarsson. We thought he was coming off a few minutes ago, so he makes his way. He's exhausted. I'm not blaming him for trotting slowly and now only walking towards the near touchline. Time is running out for England. 2 minutes of the 90 to go. Then who knows, we might have 4 minutes of added time, something like that.
Well, I've no idea, but at the moment England don't even look like creating opportunity, let alone putting one in the back of the net.
Goal kick to Iceland. Halldórsson, who gave away the penalty for England in the 5th minute of the game. It was a terrible challenge on Sterling, but his team responded, and they're responding again late in the game. The ball is with Bjarnason on the far side of the field. That's Elmer Bjarnason, one of their substitutes. He's tackled by Walker. Ball is still in play. Bjarnason persistent. He wants a touch off the England defender. He didn't get one, and now it's an England throw-in. But it's only a matter of yards from the corner flag of the England half. Thrown long towards Cahill. Cahill fouled the Icelandic player, and we can see it from this distance. Free kick to Iceland.
If I was Iceland here, 20 yards inside their own half, I'd go back to the goalkeeper, kill a few more seconds and launch it back upfield. I mean, Iceland fans are bouncing all over the place.
While Greg Dyke will be amongst those from the FA watching on in this shocking performance by England. It's not over yet, but there are only seconds to go of the 90 minutes, and then we'll have added time. And here's Marcus Rashford, the 18-year-old, sprinting down the left side, and he's got past one player. He's now into the penalty area, Rashford, and past another player. Can he get the cross in? He's won a corner. He tried to get a cross in, deflected off the defender, and there is a corner to England.
And this is why he should have been brought on earlier. He's got confidence, he's got the ability to run at people, to dribble.
Rashford to take the corner from the left, played in right-footed towards the near post. I thought that came off the defender, but it didn't. It's a goal kick to Iceland, and I'm anxiously waiting for the fourth official to tell us how much time will be added on. Just a measly 3 minutes. 3 minutes to save England's participation in the European Championship. I'm not sure anything can save Roy Hodgson's job from this performance. And I know the players, have to take a lot of responsibility, but did England have a clear idea of what to do in the second half?
Even if England score now, Deno has to ask him what was the plan in the second half, because it's been atrocious.
Rashford runs down the left side, and he's still running. Rashford, he's tackled, and the ball breaks out of play, but it's only a throw-in, a yard from the corner flag. We're into added time here on 5 Live. 0500 909 693, the number to call. Chris Waddle and Dan Walker for 606. Boy, that would be some listen. Here's the throw by Ali into the penalty area, straight onto an Icelandic boot, and they've got everybody back now. Gunnarsson trying to make sure that not everyone stays back for Iceland. Another cross high into the edge of the Iceland penalty area. Another headed clear by Iceland. Sturridge rushes to the far side, keeps it in play for England. England looked exhausted and without any ideas. Not a good ball forward, but Walker did well, winning it back on the far side. Walker crosses right-footed. Kane tried to glance the header on, headed away, and now there can be a possible counter-attack for Iceland. Was that a foul challenge? Well, It could easily have been a foul challenge on Traustason, but the referee didn't see it that way.
90 seconds
It's
to
with
go.
Rose chips it forward, headed away by Syverson, and hit over the halfway line into the England half. Here's Joe Hart. 1 minute and 20 seconds remain of added time. Hart can come forward to the halfway line. Now he knows he's got to drill it through the middle. Cahill's up from defence. Cahill jump was beaten in the air, and Iceland can just hold on to it here for a moment. Oh no, they clear it well, and they've got a chance here, 2 against 2, and that was a foul by Rose. That's got to be a free. Oh no, it's the other way according to the assistant. I thought there was a foul on Elmar Bjarnason, but it's an England free kick.
Into the last minute, Alan.
Yeah, 50 seconds. Precisely 50 seconds. England trail Iceland 2-1. Rashford once more. Why wasn't Rashford brought on earlier? Rashford surges forward, edge of the penalty area, and then he trips on the ball, loses possession, and is cleared out of play. Half a minute remaining. Joe Hart rushes to get to the ball. Takes the throw in. To Rose. Rose, only one idea in his mind. Slash it forward. Cahill's up there. Cahill didn't win the ball in the air. Ball breaks back. Here's Wiltshire. Wiltshire in to Ali. Ali slides the ball to the far side of the field, and Sturridge crosses in there. Chance! Vardy heads it wide. It's a corner. There must have been a glance off a defender. I thought Vardy had equalised.
Well, that's it. 3 minutes of injury time are up. England are now in extra time of injury time.
It was a brilliant defensive header by Arneson. We're over the allocated 3 minutes. Kane's corner played in, and the header down wide of goal.
That's it.
And that is it. Fantastic win for Iceland. Don't take anything away from Iceland. They were outstanding, brilliant. They denied England everything, but England were shocking, and this will go down as the worst, or amongst the worst results in the history of English international football.
No idea, no excuses. England players should be ashamed of themselves. That second half performance was nothing short of atrocious.
Hodgson, he's got to go.
He has no choice.
If he doesn't go, he'll be sacked.
There was no plan in the
He's
second
out.
half, just like Slovakia.